If you were only going to do one thing and you wanted to manifest your dream life, this would be it. Welcome to Tools to Manifest Your Dream Life with myself, Glenyce. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. We are currently at a pet and house sit in Montana. It is so beautiful here, guys. If you're watching this on the video, you see some nature behind me, but there's horses over there. There's mountains. It is beautiful. Oh my goodness. So, okay, if you're going to do this one thing, what the heck would it be? Asking for what you would like. Now, before you hit stop on this, I want you to take a moment. And it's not hard. You don't have to know specifically what you would like. What I am always encouraging people to do is to actually get the energy of what you would like as opposed to the specifics. And the reason for that is because a lot of times what we're thinking we would like, what we've decided, those specifics are usually a conclusion for what we would like. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you would like to take your family on a vacation, just a really beautiful, say 3-week vacation. And you want to take your parents and your kids and your spouse and some friends. Like, let's say you want to take like 20 people on this 3-week vacation. Now, most of us wouldn't want to do that, but let's say the first thing we would go to is, okay, well, if I'd like to do that, then I need money. That's going to cost, let's say, $50,000. So I need to have money. So I'm going to start asking for $50,000. This is where we get tripped up because we're asking for the conclusion of what we would like rather than what we would like. So what I encourage people to do is look at what that trip, if you were to take all of your friends and family and everybody you would like on that 3-week vacation, what does that feel like? Oh gosh, it feels so much fun. It feels like there's going to be a lot of adventure. Oh man, I feel like so many memories would be made. I feel so proud that I could do it. And so you want to get all of those energies. And then you want to start asking for those energies, and not specifically, but just all I suggest people do is daydream. Just take a moment, daydream. You're doing that vacation. You've taken them there. Everybody's happy there. Everybody's having the time of their life. You're just daydreaming about it, all those energies, and you start asking for that. Because those specifics of, I need money for this trip, what if you could win it? What if there's a bazillion other ways that the universe could deliver it, but the minute we ask for the money for it, we've cut the universe off at the knees. Universe could deliver it 5,000 ways, and we've said only one way, and then I'm probably not going to receive that either. Because we are just like that sometimes. We are just like that. So what we want to recognize is that when I talk about asking, if that was the only tool you ever used to manifest your dream life, what I would like you to do is start putting a reminder somewhere, maybe a sticky note on your bathroom mirror or a note on your phone that can pop up as a reminder every day. Ask for what you would like. Again, I'm just asking you, daydream a little bit, and then so simple. It could be something like, universe, I'll have that. So you're daydreaming about it. You're getting all the yummy energies. Universe, I'll have that. Universe, I'll have that. Oh yeah. And for me, at least, there's a more and more expansive, yummy energy as I play with that. And it doesn't have to be long. If you were to take 5 minutes a day, tops 5 minutes a day, that would start to shift and change things. Now, will it show up exactly the way that you're daydreaming about it? Maybe. Honestly, probably not. Because what I have found in my experience of using all of these magical tools, specifically the asking one, is that it often shows up way better than I knew to ask for. Way better than I knew to ask for. And I'll give you an example, and this is from years ago, but it's still one of my favorite examples. Hubby and I were looking for a new acreage. So we were living on an acreage, which is, if you're not familiar with that term, it's like something like this, where you have a house and you have more acres than just a partial acre. We had, I think, 5 or 6 acres. So we were living in a certain spot on an acreage. We loved the acreage, but we wanted to be closer to the airport. So this was back in 2017, and I started looking around Sherwood Park area, Edmonton area, it's in Alberta. And what ended up happening, there were so many pieces to this that it was just like a miracle after miracle after miracle, because what I was asking for was all these yummy energies, and I did have some specifics. I absolutely had some specifics. I had to be able to get good internet, because the acreage we were at the time, we could not get good internet without cutting down trees because of the lines and such, and we weren't willing to do that. So I had some specifics, but for the most part, I just went off energies, a couple of specifics, kept asking. And then we ended up at an Airbnb because I wanted to do a class that was both in person and online. And because our internet wasn't very good, I rented an Airbnb in Sherwood Park, knowing we wanted to live in that area too. And it happened to have, I rented it because it had a swimming pool in the back. And I've always been a swimming pool gal. I've always been a lake swimmer, not so much an ocean swimmer, just because I'm not as familiar, all those things, but water, for me, absolute water. So I rented this Airbnb, we had it for a week. I did my classes, had friends over, had family over. And the night that we had family over, so Rodney has hubby, as I call him, but his name is actually Rodney. He has 3 kids and they all have kids. So we had grandkids and we had kids, and we just had the best time. We just had the absolute best time because we were all together and everybody could be entertained in whatever way they wanted. So as adults, if we wanted to go swimming, we could. If you were in the pool, you could still visit with people at the table because it was all together. The kids swimming could kind of play their own stuff, but also could interact with us. It was truly the most fun we'd had probably to date at that point. So, went to bed that night. The next morning, and hubby says, I started Googling how to care for pools, and it's not that hard. And I thought, what a weird comment. Because we weren't looking for a house with a swimming pool. We would never, ever have looked for a house with a swimming pool had we not been at that acreage, or at that Airbnb. It wasn't an acreage. So he started Googling it. He was watching YouTube videos, because this is the type of guy he is. He loves to educate himself about everything. And then, guess what? 3 days later, the house that came up on for sale had a swimming pool. So in all of those energies that I was asking for and the few specifics I had, swimming pool was never part of that. It couldn't have been. It wasn't part of my world. I would say that I had this really interesting idea that it was silly to pay for a swimming pool as a Canadian for 4 or 5 months of the year, and the rest of the time it had to be closed up. And it wasn't until we started looking at it, we had one, hubby searched how to care for it, we started educating ourselves, and then all of a sudden this possibility came up. And it was a big yes for me, and hubby too, I would say, but definitely for me. And that I could not have asked for. And this is where, when I talk about the energies and specifics, if there are some, because even with a swimming pool, if there would have been no way to put in good internet so I could do classes and all that, we wouldn't have bought it. I know that because my business, not 100% of my business, but 90% of my business was online. And, that was 2017. So as we got into 2020 and on, it became even more online, but it was that important. And so those specifics, that are absolute deal breakers, absolutely add them in, but otherwise go with energies, because with those energies, it can show up way better than you never truly, truly imagined possible. And that to me is where the joy of living is. I remember years ago, I would say probably like 2002, 2003, when I first started this energy journey, this energy healing and creation and manifestation and all of it. I did specifics all the time. I followed law of attraction, and the way that I understood law of attraction was that I needed to be very specific. So I would make vision boards. I would get very clear. I remember the first acreage we bought, I had a list of like 20 things that it had to have, again, so specific. And that's, again, not bad, but what would happen for me is every time I would manifest what I was asking for, I actually felt like I was really a bad person because I didn't have the joy with it. There wasn't the gratitude with it. It was like, oh, okay, yes, I asked for this. Oh. And then I'd have to force myself to be grateful. And it just, you know, it was insane. But what I realized as I started choosing more from energy and manifesting more from energy was that that's when the beyond what I never imagined possible could show up. And that's where the joy was. And that has made so much difference in my world. Now, with that, you do have to let go of some control. Obviously not 100% because it works for me and I'm still a control freak of magnitude, but you do need to let go of some control. So that's where those energies come in without saying, you know, it needs to be a red sports car with these types of rims and this sort of sound system and all of that. It's like, okay, what would be fun? What would be fun to drive? Now, maybe you need to think about the red sports car with the rims, like all of that to get the energy. That's fine. Do that. And just allow it to show up however it's going to show up. And really allow the universe to surprise you. It's one of the questions that I ask every day is, universe, how many ways can you surprise and delight me with my asks showing up right away? Or my dream life showing up right away, or however you want to finish it. They're asking for it. And that is, if you're only going to use one tool, please start getting the energies of what you would like, daydream about it, and then ask for that. Universe, I'll have this. Universe, show me what's required. Another way that I love to ask is something called affirmations. So not affirmations, but affirmations. And this is where you ask why questions of what you would like. Why is it so easy for me to surprise and delight myself with my dream life showing up right away? Why is manifesting my dream life so easy for me? Why do I love how quickly things show up for me? Like where you're asking it as a why question, what you would like. Now, the reason that works is because our brain is constantly answering the questions that we are asking. It's just usually we're asking questions we don't want answered. Like, why is life so hard? Why do I have to struggle with this? Why does this never work for me? Stop asking those questions, guys. You do not want to ask those. Start asking the questions you would like. Why is manifestation so easy for me? Why am I magical as fuck? Why is life so fun for me? Like, ask those questions. What you'll notice, at least what I notice, I can't say for sure you will, but what I notice is the joy and the expansiveness the more that I ask those. And it becomes where you've got to be a little bit tenacious, where you're willing to stop the questions you're asking that aren't creating what you would like and turn it into questions you would like answered. So you do need to be willing to catch yourself and turn it into what you would like. And that's just going to be trial and error for yourself. You're going to have to just start paying attention, especially to the thoughts you're thinking. Because a lot of times we're really not present with those, and those ones can be really tricky too. But again, this was supposed to be just one thing. This whole show was supposed to be on one thing. So go back to, asking for what you would like and start there. If you would like my morning routine, this is a free gift for you. We've got the link above or below. If you can't find the link, reach out. And it's like a checklist on a PDF, but I've also recorded it kind of like a meditation. I call them energetic exercises. So if you would like to utilize that every morning, it's got some affirmations in it. It's got kind of tapping into that energy of what you would like. I'm not sure if it's 5 or 6 or 7 minutes. It's very short. So you could add that to your day every day and really start manifesting your dream life as if by magic. Have a great week, sweet friends. I look forward to chatting again soon.